Please listen carefully.
Hello. What is this, number
Episode 3?
3? We are cooking of
The Knock and Talk
the
Show.
Knock and Talk Show. I'm Marcus.
And I'm Allison.
Here we go. Number 3 of randomness.
Oh, right.
Let's see how far off topic we can get this time.
Can we try and stay on course today?
No, probably not. It's probably not going to happen, if I had to guess.
Well, where are we starting today?
Well,
I know you have some stuff lined up.
Real quick, we tried to do this a couple episodes ago, and I don't know exactly when this is going to air, but as of August 3rd, I just kind of want to take a minute and give some acknowledgement to Scott Dawley of the Nelsonville Police Department, who was killed on August 3rd. He was involved in a motor vehicle crash while responding to a call of a shooting. This occurred at 2:30 p.m., again on the 3rd of August. He apparently collided with 2 other vehicles in an intersection. He was a 43-year-old male. He was a 7-year veteran of the Nelsonville, Ohio Police Department. He leaves behind a wife and 4 children. So that's obviously tragic. That's tragic to the family. That's tragic to the officers that were obviously there with him. And officers across the nation as well. It's a somber reminder of what we do daily, day to day, and at any point in time, everything before you can change. So God bless him and his family.
Absolutely.
Please keep them in your thoughts and prayers. Like I said, I don't know when this is going to be actually on air, but this occurred on August 3rd of 21 in Nelsonville, Ohio. That's just kind of one of those things that, you know, as sad as it is and as tragic as it is for the rest of us that are here, left behind when something like that happens, I hope it doesn't sound wrong, but it's a huge learning lesson to the rest of us.
It makes you think.
It does, and hopefully it kind of slows everybody down for a little bit because auto accidents and line of duty deaths are more frequent than you would probably think.
Educate me.
It's very high. I mean, it's very high. This
Yell
year
at me
alone,
all the time.
Look, it's easy to do. I've been guilty of it myself. You hit the little magical switch between you that makes everything flicker on the car.
It is a magical switch.
I mean, it really
it's
is.
So fun. It's so fun.
You add some noise to it. You know, you're running hot somewhere. You got a million things going through your head. It's easy to get carried away, and it does happen. But like I said, unfortunately, that is a huge leader in the causes of death, line of duty deaths for officers across the country.
What's this you got up on the screen?
This is a couple of statistics that we have just from this year alone, 2021, from Officer Down Memorial page, odmp.org. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. They do a lot of cool different things. There's lots of different merch you can get. I believe a lot of their profits go to different organizations for fallen officers, the families of fallen officers.
I subscribe to their email, so it's nice because you can be up to date with
But you
everything.
know what's sad is how often
you get something of another officer who's passed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's constant. Well, it's a good thing to kind of keep in mind, you know, and it does kind of, it keeps it at the forefront of your mind because you're not invincible.
Yeah, but it's a sad reality. Like it's
horrible.
constant.
It's horrible. This year compared to last year, 2020, auto-related deaths and officers are up 35%. We're at 42 this year.
Now, see,
It's a lot.
It's a lot. So you and I look at that and we think that's a lot. But I feel like someone that's not in law enforcement, they'd be like, well, I don't know what the actual number of how many law enforcement personnel there are across the United States. Be like, well, out of the whatever number of cops that are out there, you have the, you know, there's only, I'm saying this as someone else thinking it. There's only 42 deaths from auto accidents of officers. Right. But the thing is 42 is still too many.
Well,
and how many people go to work? No one goes to work and expects to die. No one's going to work wanting to die. No one everyone wants to go home at the end of the day. So the fact that that is a reality of our profession is, I mean, it's
100%. Any
it's
day,
a
any given time. And I
sobering reality.
look, we don't say this for any type of I don't know what the word you're looking for, recognition or
No.
don't feel sorry for us. It's obviously something that we choose to do
chose,
on a daily
absolutely.
basis. But we are down 10% for this year. But let me
Wait, down 10% for total?
overall deaths. But you see this medical at 105, it's down 29% last year.
So is the medical like suicide?
You know what? No, I believe that's all other. But you know where all that medical death comes from? COVID.
Oh.
Which was another killer because obviously we're front lines looking. And again, a huge shout out to the nurses, the doctors, the fire and the EMS, and everybody that was out there literally on the front lines of that battle. No matter your thoughts or opinions on the disease, whatever it may be, that's why those numbers are high. And that's why they're down this year. Because obviously, with the vaccine and different knowledge of it and things of that nature, it's been able to decrease a little bit.
Yeah.
Gunfire deaths this year, 36. That's up 9% from this time last year.
Jeez.
So it's still high. It's very high. I'm actually surprised that it's up this year from last year. When you look at the nature of everything that was occurring and going on last year
was terrible.
I'm really surprised that it is actually up from last year.
Right.
I really am.
Yeah, but there's still a lot of residual tension that's still carrying over.
There is.
There
really is.
And you think about too, everything was shut down. Like I know that the actual riots, but
true
like for
also.
a good point or a good portion of the year last year,
Yes.
there's so much that was shut down. So look at us. I mean, I know that we don't come from a big city, so we're not trying to fool anyone here. But for us, everything was shut down. So
how eerie
it was weird,
that?
but we didn't have much to do. I mean,
No.
our calls for service were. I mean, they plummeted.
Nothing compared to
they were so low because a lot of our frequent flyer businesses that we deal with, I mean, no one was open. Sorry, the cats
Somebody
are getting
found something to play
the
with.
cats are getting into things again.
Probably more of my stuff. So this cat just
Are we
flipping cat.
sidebarring for a minute?
We're gonna sidebar for just a minute because what he does,
Wait, but can we say his name real quick because it's amazing?
Bonelli.
Benelli, like the shotgun.
So it's like this love-hate relationship that him and I have.
Nobel.
Love him to death. He's a good cat, and he's very friendly. He's very loving.
We're not crazy cat people, by the way. We have dogs.
We are not. She is.
I
am not.
Okay, whatever.
However, this cat, does he not listen to him? You can hear that. He's in there taking my stuff and he's hiding it. And the day I find his hiding spot of all my shit that he's taken, it's going to be like a shopping
Do
spree.
you remember when you used to chew? Which congratulations to you that you don't chew anymore.
goodness.
It's amazing. You're
Can we
awesome.
talk about how amazing nicotine is, though?
No,
Can we get a
no,
sponsorship?
no.
Okay. Anyways,
But you're awesome for quitting that.
you
By
know
the
what?
way,
I drink
That's
a
your
lot of
shout out.
coffee now.
I don't care.
Have you noticed
I'm
that?
just glad that you
I need
don't chew
something.
anymore. I'm
I
just
need a
glad you don't
fix.
chew. But I used to not care, but I cared.
She can.
And then I was like, you could pay for
Low-key
vacations with how much you
Yes.
spent on your dip. But
So I
anyways,
quit chewing.
So anyways, he quits chewing. But when he was chewing, Benelli would take his entire a log, is that what you call it? A
log.
log. And he would run through
would
the
hide
house
it.
with the log in his mouth. And he would run around like he was so proud with
So
it.
now that he doesn't have that to take, he takes
What else does he take?
anything else. It doesn't matter.
He
He'll
takes those,
take-
what's the rope stuff or we have like 5,000 feet of,
Oh, 550 cord. You can never have enough of that.
what is 550 cord?
We can't sidebar that far
What
because we'll never get back here.
What am I going to do with 550 cord though?
A lot.
Okay. You make fun of me for my hyacinth baskets that we have around the house, but those serve a purpose. They hide things.
So does 550 cord.
They don't hide things. It's just laying around.
You could hide something up very high because you could pull 550 pounds up with it.
Is that how much should we test this?
Well, Yeah, let's do it. That's for another
Try
episode. We
everyone-
just found a live.
Hashtag do it for the pod.
Yeah,
I
we-
actually had that idea that I should make Marcus do
Do
things
it
for the pod. Hashtag do it for the pod.
Wow.
Remember I was going to make you do like a face mask or something? Like,
Yes, that's not going to happen. So, anyways, this cat.
it's going to happen.
This cat will take my stuff and hide it. It doesn't matter what it is. Anything that's mine, and he does it just to mess with me. I know he does.
No, he doesn't. He's
got a
precious.
personal vendetta.
He's precious. We're going to put a picture of him up on the Instagram because he's amazing. He's so cute.
So, anyways,
And he's fat. Well, he's not fat. He's like thick.
he's solid.
He's like,
He's a cinder block.
yeah, he's thick.
So, anyways, check out odmp.org if you get the chance.
Oh, speaking of, look, he's trying to jump in my lap right now.
There's a lot of statistics. Like I said, they have a store. There's lots of different things you can contribute to, or just a little bit of knowledge. You can kind of see what's going on out there with us on a frequent daily basis.
It's just really sad. You know, for me, obviously the officer passing is terrible
Oh, it's
and
horrible.
tragic and
It's
sad.
horrible.
But then you think about the family and his kids or of just any general
Everybody
and
that's
officers.
affected.
It's just everyone that's left behind. And I'll tell you what, there is nothing that is more sobering than a cop funeral.
I'm going to tell you what. I think it's important for every officer, especially new officers, if you get the chance, I know it may sound kind of morbid, but if you get the chance, go to a line of duty funeral, because you're 100% right. But it's also nice to see the
Camaraderie.
support and the camaraderie, and you'll have residents, civilians just lining the street to show their support. There's actually a quote here on the homepage of odmp.org, and it's from Chris Cosgriff. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. He's the founder of the ODMP, Officer Down Memorial Page. And his quote is, "When a police officer is killed, it's not an agency that loses an officer, it's an entire nation."
I like that.
And that's a very, very nice quote, very accurate.
It's terrible.
You know, I think it's funny sometimes we laugh. It's the law enforcement community itself is huge, right? It's
Absolutely.
nationwide. It's worldwide, but especially nationwide. It's funny how it's such a large organization, but when something like this happens, how small and tight knit it becomes.
Right.
Or even when there's drama, that's when it really becomes small and tight knit.
Always when there's drama.
It's worse than high school sometimes, but it's
It's
good,
like
and I
working
wouldn't.
with a bunch of girls.
I wouldn't change.
And I
it
work
for
with
the
a
world.
bunch of dudes.
Well,
I love them all equally.
So if you get some time, get on there and check that out. It's just kind of an interesting, interesting page. Like I said, there's lots of places to go on there and support if that's what you choose to do. If you're a hater, it's not for you. So stay
Well, if
off
you're
it.
a hater, you're probably not listening to this podcast. You
But
probably didn't make it through episode
just wanted to shout him out because that's a little close to home. That's fairly
in
local.
Ohio. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, that's terrible. It's
it
never
is.
good to have a loss.
Yep. And it's
So-
crazy how sometimes how young they are.
So we kind of talked about this before jumping on here about his crash. And again, I just want to preface it with this is not us. What is it? I
Judging
always say-
Monday morning
judging-
quarterbacking.
Is it Monday morning? I always say Monday night quarterbacking. I always say it wrong. But Monday morning quarterbacking. Monday morning quarterbacking. We're not trying to criticize.
No,
what
but
he
at the
did,
same time, you have to
but
take
start a discussion
situations like
about-
that and learn from them.
Absolutely.
Right? It's just
So-
like life's little lessons, I guess. And again, God bless him and his family. I hope they're in good hands. That is one good thing about this community is hopefully his wife and kids will never want or need for anything at all, because
Taken
hopefully
care
everybody
of.
kind of steps up to the plate and helps them. We've seen that in the past. That's usually a very common thing. So I hope that continues with this incident here. But
So, but going back to the not Monday morning quarterbacking him,
right.
but just learning from that, we briefly discussed about responding to calls for service, running hot. Like we we always laugh like there's nothing better than running hot. Like sometimes it's just super
it's
fun, whatever.
It can be very fun,
but just
absolutely.
thinking about it and just like taking that step back and
slow down.
yeah.
Slow down.
But how
And again,
hard
sometimes
that
that's easier
is.
said than
I was
done.
gonna say sometimes it's
100%.
hard because you wanna just
You want to go, you want to get there.
You want to be the first one there. I always
Yes.
had that problem. I always want to be the first one there. But I have to say, I feel like in the last couple years, I attribute a lot to you just because we have good
Wait,
discussions.
can we repeat that?
I'm not repeating that. I attribute a lot to you. I will repeat it because we have good discussions. I feel like, and the discussions that we have when I don't want to say that all we do is talk about work because we absolutely don't only talk about
No.
work. But when we do talk
It's
about
an easy
work
topic.
stuff,
It's obviously it's a very easy topic for us.
but it's nice to kind of just go over things and it makes me think more. And I would say you've had more of a cop brain than I've had. You've kind of had that more of that mindset that you've helped me develop more of that.
But you have to understand
mindset.
a lot of that's been instilled in me
That's what I'm saying.
for years, mainly by my dad.
Yeah, I didn't have anyone teach me. I was just learning from CSI on whatever channel.
Right. But my dad having that first-hand knowledge and being able to
He's a pretty cool guy.
he's legit. We'll have him on one day.
He's amazing.
Yeah, we'll definitely have him on. It'll be a shit show. But we'll have him on.
A shit show. Every time we hang out with him, it's a shit show.
But it's a good time.
It is good.
And that's all that matters.
We just have to have what's that beer he likes? Hams.
Oh God, it's
Cheap
the
ass
most
hands.
disgusting stuff. It's horrible. It is
It's
absolutely
gross.
horrible.
But anyways, I feel like you have helped me just think about things in a little different way. And with that being said, I think we've talked about this before, taking that extra second to that woosah. Yeah, that like take that deep breath before you turn your lights and sirens on, especially for a call like a stabbing or a shooting call or something that is not just I shouldn't say just and nothing that we say, I'm not trying to take away from like the seriousness.
Our
like
world
crashes
is a
can
little
be
different
yeah,
sometimes than-
crashes that can be serious, and I'm not trying to take away from the seriousness of them, but there's a big difference between responding to a crash and responding to a shooting call.
Right.
I mean, it's just a completely different mindset. But as you're driving, I mean, I know you do it too, but you're thinking about, okay, where am I going to park? Where am I going to position myself? Where
What
am I going to
direction
get?
am I gonna go? How am I gonna
How am I
get
going to
there?
get there? What's the easiest way to get there? How, like,
Do I need to get the rifle or the shotgun out while I'm driving?
Right. And
Yes.
start playing
You're getting
scenarios.
updates.
Getting updates, playing scenarios in my head. Okay, so if I get there and the guy has a gun in his hand right in the front lawn, or he's here, or he's in the house, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, or he's here, we're going to do
You're
this, and we're
coordinating
going
with
to do
other.
that.
So all that being said, for the general public, keep that in mind. That when we're coming up behind you with lights and sirens, there's already a million things going on. So please, for the love of God, just like you were trained,
The fuck over.
get to the right side of the road.
Don't stop in the middle of
Do
the
not
road.
block a driveway or an intersection.
Don't stop.
But move to the right side of. How many times do people just dead stop? They're coming out of a parking lot and they're not paying attention, or they're already traveling on the road. You're behind them in the left lane of a 4-lane highway trying to get somewhere, and they just stop next to a bus who's stopped. There's nowhere to go. Move to the right side of
Do you
the
know what
road.
my favorite technique to do to battle that is?
Just ram them.
Is I wish.
Take
We
'em out.
didn't just say that. We didn't say that. Take the holler and air horn at the same time and just
lay on it.
and then you're in your car, just yell at
But
them.
still,
like,
they look at you like,
what and then they put their hands up. You see their hands and they put them up in the air, and you're like, move over.
Get out of the
what,
way.
What part of your
Because
brain
here's
made
the
this
big
think of
thing.
it was a good idea?
when you call 911 one day, you're going to want us there.
Yeah.
Promptly.
Yeah.
On time.
Yeah.
In a very timely manner and ready to perform.
Absolutely.
And if we get stuck behind your cousin in the left-hand lane who can't move his shitmobile out of the left lane because he can't figure life out, there's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
So please, just move to the right side of the roadway.
That's our PSA
Get
for the
out of the
episode.
way.
But it is kind of crazy when you think about like how many things are going on in your brain. And I think that has also developed for me over the years. I've gotten better at problem solving as I'm driving
That
there, where
comes
you're
with
experience.
and discipline.
Yeah, but
And discipline.
But before it was like, oh God, what am I gonna do with this? Like
Yes.
you've never had it before, so you don't know what you're gonna do.
Right.
Like I'll never forget my first shooting call.
Yeah.
I don't even remember getting there.
That was the woman who took a little bit of a bird shot from a
her
smaller
boob.
caliber
To her boob.
12 gauge. Yes, right to
Right
the
to the boob.
chest.
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember getting there, but
Right.
it was just kind of like it was a blur. It was just a blur, and and you just kind of progress from there. Obviously, I'll be the first one to admit I pulled up right in front of that house. But the screwed up thing is I was looking at the map, not because I didn't know where the street was, but we were trying to figure out. I was trying
Which
to position.
house?
I was trying to position myself so I could get at least two houses.
It never goes as planned.
No, I was driving too damn fast to get there, but I was right around the corner. You were on the phone with me because I didn't hang up when the call went out.
So at the time this occurred, we were actually on different shifts.
Hey, what are you?
I was on nights.
I was on afternoons.
Yeah, and you were on afternoons, and we're actually mid conversation. She had called me to tell
Well, you
me.
just woke up.
Yeah, she called me to tell me how amazing I am and what a
Yeah.
good job I do on a
Yeah.
daily basis, and
Yeah.
you can at least agree. Yeah, the call goes out, and they used
The code.
the signal code for it, and there was this long hesitation, and I said, "Holy shit, that's
It's a shooting. That's a shooting. And I was like, oh fuck.
Gotta go by."
But I didn't hang up the phone. I just threw. I
Thank
thought
God,
I
because
did.
I'm going to tell you what a hopeless feeling being on the opposite end.
I threw you in the cup holder.
You've done that a couple times,
I know. I do that a lot.
and I listen.
But I got there. Well, I was looking at the map because I was right around the corner. I was probably you knew where I was at.
I don't think I did. But there was
near
you,
the
and, you,
one-
and you and another unit got in the
Well, he
about
went,
the same time,
but he went
the opposite
north,
way. Yeah,
and
yeah.
it was
It was
south.
south,
But
and right.
so I went south because he told me to go south because he was wrong.
Wrong
Like,
way,
he
wrong
realized,
way.
yeah, he realized it was wrong. So it's fine. So I'm looking at the map, trying to position myself to get to this house, and I was going way too damn fast. I should
happens.
now looking back though, I would have slowed myself once I got on that street to make sure.
Or prior to
Prior to
got your
position, like
bearings,
maybe
yes.
before I turned onto that, I'm getting a little excited. I'm hitting my microphone.
Just punching shit.
But I would have slowed myself down prior to getting even close to the house to make sure I'm getting myself in I hate sound like a douche, but a tactical position so that I can be
Yeah.
in a safe position.
Yeah.
So that, especially if I'm going to be first one on scene, I know whoever's going to pull up behind me, they're probably going to base their position off of my
I will
position.
say that was, for the most part, the best crew
Oh, we did awesome.
that you could have been working with that
well,
day.
I don't want to say I did awesome, but
That
yes,
was a good
everything went
group
really
of guys.
good.
It was a good shift, experienced people, clear, smart thinking guys. I mean, that was, like I said, for the most part,
It went
if,
very
If
smooth.
shit's gonna hit the fan, there's definitely some people in there that I
Yeah,
would
those
definitely
are the people
want
you
to
want.
stack up on, and we're
it
gonna
went very
handle
smooth.
business. So
but I pulled up right in front of the freaking house.
yeah, it happens.
And then I was like, oh shit. And so thank God there was a big old tree in front of the, like, right basically like across where my car was.
Right.
So I'm like, well, I'm going to go
Take that.
hide behind the tree. So I went and
Absolutely.
hid behind the tree. And then how about my freaking radio not working? Like,
Well-
talk about feeling helpless.
Nothing but the best.
I mean,
Hashtag blessed.
yeah, but man, talking about that
That's
is
a helpless
that's a
feeling.
helpless feeling because you're
Absolutely.
going, oh my God, they're giving updates. I'm trying to take my battery because the good old turn it off and turn it back on. I'm on a call with my gun out with a guy in the house that just shot his wife in the boob, and I'm trying to take my battery out.
Was she, not to be perverted,
What?
was she well endowed? Do you think that's what helped?
It was birdshot. I think that's what helped.
Right, but I mean, still, you got to think there was a close distance, so
It was
everything's
very
coming
close. Yeah, I think
out not
that,
max velocity. I mean, it's still coming out hot, you know.
yeah, I don't know. I don't remember her being well endowed.
Hey, speaking of like crazy statistics, look at this. Now this is a little old, June 1st of 21. Minneapolis, Minnesota.
I can't say that word.
Minneapolis.
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 Is that right? Is that right? Minneapolis?
Minneapolis. There you go. You got it.
That's the only time. I'm not saying it ever again.
So we know some of the history surrounding this city and this state, right? It's been a hot topic.
And if you don't, you
button
live under
here
a rock.
And we're not gonna get into it. We don't get into certain things here. This is just kind of just educational, I guess. Obviously, we have a perspective that we come from, and that's not what we're here to do, right? So this is just a crazy article that I stumbled upon today. And like I said, it's a little old. This is from June 1st of 21. We're into August now. But the crime rate is through the roof.
Are you surprised?
No, but you know why? Because they wanted to defund the police. So, which is a whole nother ordeal. I mean, you just I mean, you can do your own research, right? Get on there, look. You come up with your own opinions. It doesn't matter at this point. But 405 carjackings in the year of 2020, a rise of 301% over 2019.
My gosh.
Robberies are up 32%, and violent crimes overall are up 14% year to year. But think about that. 405 carjackings in a year. Now, it doesn't say here, but think about a carjacking. In my opinion, that's either with force or threat of force.
Correct.
So that's a very violent crime in itself. You're either getting, you pull up to a red light and you're getting yanked out of your car.
Right. Or someone's holding a gun up to
or
your
you're
car,
getting shot in the leg and drug, whatever the
Yeah.
case may be. 405
It's crazy.
in a year in one city. That's just one city.
I feel terrible for the officers there. What they're putting up with.
What a shit show.
Yeah.
What an absolute shit show.
Could you imagine the morale there? There has to be none. I mean, I give them so much credit for showing up every day.
And as of, what'd I say, June 1st of 21, 95.
Jeez.
That's an increase of 53% from 2020 when there was 405.
Jeez.
That's insane. And that's just carjackings. That's not to mention the amount of shootings that they've had. Various other crimes. I mean, like I said in the beginning, robberies are up 32%.
What website are you getting this from?
This is care11.com, which I'm guessing is like a local news agency. That's like a NBC or an MSNBC.
Oh, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure we're citing our sources.
Yes, care11.com.
That is crazy.
But it's crazy. This says Minneapolis had 97 homicides and 95. So far this year, being 21, the city has 34 homicides, which is a similar pace to the infamous year of 95.
Jeez.
Which is crazy. I mean, it's a free for all.
I'm looking up in the 90s. What was going on in the 90s?
Here's what bothers me right here.
I should know this.
There is the reason they're kind of blowing this up over there in Minneapolis. Obviously, we know kind of what occurred and what happened over there, especially in the year 2020, which, I mean, just a trying time for the general public, for law enforcement, for everybody combined.
2020 sucked.
It was a horrible year.
Sucked.
But here's what bothers me.
Hey, but I got my master's degree.
You did get your master's
degree. And no one
degree.
cared, but it's fine.
And I'm now technically a doctor, but no, that's false. But you did get your master's degree. Congratulations.
Nobody.
Gosh.
I didn't even get to graduate.
Well, and that's the other thing.
Whatever. Go ahead.
However.
Go ahead. Continue.
Some of the victims with this violent crime spree in Minneapolis include a 6-year-old female
Oh my gosh.
and a 9-year-old female. And no one has been charged in their deaths.
I can't handle kid stuff.
That
I mean, obviously,
is
I handle, but
sickening.
it
I mean, it's disgusting.
it's-
It's
yeah.
absolutely disgusting.
oh, God,
And there's
look at that
certain
picture
groups
of
that
her.
will come out for people to fight for their justice.
Who's riding for those little girls?
Nobody
Right.
cares. Nobody cares.
It was a rhetorical question. Yeah. No one.
And that has nothing to do with the area it occurs in or race or anything of that. I mean, that is disgusting that there are two
Little girl,
and
little
those-
children.
These are just two cases. I mean, it's happened other places in the country.
Cleveland had
different
it.
kids of different ages, and it is
Didn't they?
horrible.
Didn't they? Cleveland had like
it's very
a
possible.
little girl. I don't know where to find it, but I think she was in her home. She was sleeping.
Yeah,
It was
it's
like a
very
drive-by
possible.
shooting
It's horrible.
in a neighborhood.
It is
She
absolutely
died.
horrible. So,
Well,
not
you
to
know,
bring the mood down, but those are
but
just little things to kind of keep.
But if they're gonna go out there and shoot themselves, whoever shitheads are gonna go out there and shoot themselves, quit getting the kids involved.
Well,
Quit-
that's the thing.
you know what? Like,
Yeah, they had nothing to do with
No.
it. Nothing.
No. This kind of makes me think. Oh, I don't know what else you had topic for this. Am I getting too far off?
No, we might
Okay.
as well do it now. I'm surprised we're this far in and we haven't strayed.
So, but this makes me think about like how broken our system is in general, and I know that in episode 1 we talked about the mental health system, how broken it is, but you think about just even the criminal justice system. Look at how screwed up that is.
Right.
I mean, I don't know about all one of you who's listening to us.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah, thanks, Mom. But you're not a cop, but it's fine. But if a cop is listening, I don't know about where you work, but no one goes to jail. I mean, no one goes to jail.
No, and that's
Which I guess you can make arguments for jail isn't the answer, but also
there
to
has to
some
be
degree,
some
there
type of
has to be
consequence, right?
there
I
has to
mean-
be a consequence to deter the crime. There is zero deterrence for any type of crime.
so I'll give you another little thing to just kind of look at it if you get the chance. Excuse me. I, being the I guess
doctor,
the goober that I am,
the doctor that you are.
randomly on YouTube one day I find this channel called Live on Patrol.
Oh, that's the one you. Quit playing with your
I know
microphone.
I can't help it. I feel like this feedback in my headphones is horrible today.
It's fine.
So, anyways, Live on Patrol. I find it on YouTube.
Quit clicking your pen too.
Oh my god! Oh my god. What do you want me to do? Just sit
Live
over
on
here
patrol.
and talk?
Just talk. Just live on patrol. Just talk.
So it follows Sheriff Bob Fletcher, who is the Ramsey County Sheriff from the great state of Minnesota. Ramsey County is just across the river from Minneapolis, and that's where St. Paul, Minnesota is.
Mm-hmm.
But following a lot of his stuff, and they do a segment called Live on Patrol, and it happened after one of the very recent, well, not very recent, but the recent current events that kind of drove this wedge in between law enforcement and civilians and all this stuff in Minneapolis.
Which one are you referring to?
You can do the math on that one. But so a couple times a week, him and his partner come out and they do some ride-alongs, and they film it live on, obviously on patrol. But I believe Facebook is like their Facebook Live is their main platform. Their hope was to come out and bridge this gap, and go, look, law enforcement isn't here to be this horrible creature that it's been deemed and kind of dubbed across the country or whatever the case may be. But here's what really goes on 90% of the time. And he's pretty accurate. There's bad apples. There's bad apples everywhere.
In every profession.
In every profession. If it wasn't, then doctors wouldn't carry malpractice insurance, or, you know what I mean? That those things wouldn't even exist. But it does happen, right? We're all human beings. But to sit back and watch the things that they encounter on a daily basis and the things that they do, and mainly it's focused around the city of St. Paul. They have a few subcontract cities, obviously throughout the county and stuff, but mainly they focus their area in St. Paul. And to sit back and watch and listen, it's chaos. It's a Wild West, and it is chaos. And I was actually just watching one of the episodes earlier today before we started doing this stuff, and I don't know the date or whatever that it was shot, because it was a little bit of an older one, but they've had issues with street racers throughout the city of Minneapolis. And it's gotten so bad that these street racers, are literally pretty much running the city. They're dominating it. They're shutting down blocks of the city. They're driving around recklessly, shooting guns out the window.
That's cool.
And the again, I don't know. I'm not out there, but from what's been displayed and published and things of that nature, the politicians go, don't mess with them. Don't mess with. We're going to have this hands-off approach, and we're not going to come out here and interfere with them.
That sounds reasonable.
So again, you go back to that having some type of consequence for your actions, and when there is no consequence for your actions, it's a free-for-all. And it's the Wild West out there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is.
Sorry, no,
What
I'm,
is
I'm bumping
happening?
chords. Sorry.
Just trying to be.
No, I would agree, but like I said, it goes back to the deterrence. What they have nothing that is I should say nothing is preventing them. Nothing that is deterring them from doing what they're doing. So why not just keep doing what they're doing?
Everything from the top down is broken.
Yeah.
But the minute you don't come out there as a street cop or a patrolman and do what you're expected to do,
Right.
then you're to blame, and it all falls on your lap. And that's a personal opinion, but that's kind of that's kind of what's been demonstrated over the past, especially several months at this point in time. So I don't know. I don't know how you get away from it. I don't know if you have an issue at this point in time. I don't know.
I do feel like there needs more. I'm not having very good English right now.
Sometimes there needs more.
It needs to go back to having more punishment in the sense of, I think, incarceration. Now, I say this there are certain crimes that I think don't need to be punished by incarceration. So, going back to my education for my master's, that it was so wonderful, but having to do,
It's worked out well for you so far. So
yeah,
let's keep.
I'm so smart from it. Can't even talk. But you think about the drug war. I don't know what year the drug war, like what they deemed like the drug war and everything.
Well,
but
it
pretty
depends
much,
on what drug you're talking about, because I feel like we're
going
kind
through
of
like
fighting
the
one
heroin
now. You know what I mean?
fentanyl. But the original
71
with like crack
under
and
Nixon.
everything. Okay.
I just knew that off the top of my head. I didn't look it up or
right, because
anything.
I'm not looking at the screen or anything. But, they pretty much locked up everyone for drugs. And here's my thing, is that you look at people who are incarcerated, and in some cases, depending on the jurisdiction, it's my understanding that there are some people who are locked up that they're in there for drug offenses, non-violent drug offenses, and there are other people who are still left on the street that have committed probably more violent crimes that are out on parole or they got probation or whatever, but you're locked up because you have a drug offense. In my opinion, again, this is our show and our opinion. I think that drug offenses, I'm not saying that drug offenses don't need deterrence or punishment, but I don't think the answer is just locking everyone up, that especially drug addicts. Locking them up to me is the last thing that you have to do.
Totality of the
Totality of the
circumstances.
circumstances.
Boom.
But that was
Big word
that was
drop
good.
right there.
Yeah, mic drop. But you look at it. So when you look at the totality of the circumstances, you look at the person and you see that they don't need to be locked up. Locking them up isn't going to benefit them for their future, nor is it helping taxpayers. We're just going to pay for them to sit in there for no reason whatsoever. But I don't know who's texting me right now, and I'm sorry, I don't know how to turn that off on my computer. Oh, it's Digit telling me how much I've saved.
Oh.
I don't want to know. I'm scared.
What?
It's probably not much. Anyways, Digit, you want to sponsor us? I don't know.
Oh, can I get an extra 5% in my account?
Anyways, but so you criminalize drug offenses or whatever, and you lock everyone up. You're not solving any of the problems. But here's the thing: is like we're arresting people sometimes for violent offenses, and they are getting a summons.
They're getting a ticket and they go home.
Yeah, they're getting a ticket and going home, but they're getting summons and they're going home. It's insane.
Crazy.
It is insane. But they should be getting locked up. They should have some sort of punishment for that offense, or they're getting locked up for like 5 hours. They're getting bailed out, and then they do a Zoom call for their their arraignment, and then they get probation,
Look,
and then they
this
don't.
is obviously above us and
Oh,
our
way
pay
above,
grade and
way
our
above,
knowledge
way
base,
above.
and we're not in the position of, the here in Ohio, the sheriffs that may run the jails, or we're not the judges that may be trying to figure out the court system and where to put these people if
It's
they
all
have.
about money. It's about money.
Yeah. Let's be honest. I mean, that's really what it's about. And we get the excuse all the time where there's no funding, so they can't hire people, so that they can't go to jail, and there's a staffing issue. But at some point in time, that has to stop, because as of right now, there's no consequence for your actions,
Right.
and that's horrible. That is absolutely horrible, and all it does is send a message. And we're not going to send that message here. But it does. It sends a message. So I don't know. I obviously we can't sit here now and tell you what the answer is. We could have our opinion and what we think would work, but is that the answer? Is that the end all be all? Who knows? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know how you get out of this vicious, out of control spiral, pretty much, that the entire system is in, because it's not just the criminal justice system as we've seen. It is, the system involving juveniles, whether it's child protective services, or
Which is another thing
adult
that's so
protective
screwed up.
services, or the mental health field that we've tried to discuss before. It's everything. It's everything across the board, and I don't know how we got in this situation, and I don't know how you get out of it. Obviously, again, we have our own opinions on it, but there's got to be something more to that, right? I don't know if it's getting the right people involved, I don't know.
I don't want to get like too deep into it where we're getting to like controversial stuff.
Right.
I don't want to get. I don't want to
this is
get
just a
canceled before we can
free-flowing-
even. Yeah. So,
absolutely.
but I think too. When it circles back to us, we'll circle it back to law enforcement. How we can't correct the problem at
let's
the
not go
top.
too heavy with the circle back thing, because that's been a touchy subject too. But
What?
just let it go. Anyways,
I don't know what that means.
it's okay. You don't have to.
It went over my head. I have no idea. So whatever. Bring it back to us. We can't solve the problem at the top. So bringing it back into law enforcement, I feel like the lack of criminalizing, well, I should say the lack of punishment when it comes to people committing crime, and pretty much no one going to jail, and pretty much us giving everyone tickets for all the crimes that they commit. It makes cops, I don't want to say not want to do their job. Okay, Marcus is pulling up Circleback Girl because
Jen, how do you say that last
Jen
name?
Psaki, she's an idiot. I'm
We're
sorry,
gonna
that's my
circle back
opinion.
to that.
She's an idiot.
Anyways, continue.
So that's okay. So now I get it.
That's
okay.
the circle back thing.
Okay, I couldn't concentrate on what I was trying to say because I'm looking at what you're trying to googly over there.
On the Google.
Jen Psaki. That's it. That's what we're trying to get at. So, anyways, it comes back to us. I feel like it makes cops less motivated, I guess would be the best way to do your job, because for what purpose? What am I doing? I am writing you a ticket. For what? For you to not show up to court. Here's the way I look at it. Not saying that I don't do my job. I do my job. But this is what I think about afterwards. I just wrote you a ticket, essentially, for your summons to go to court that you're not going to show up for. I'm not trying to like profile or whatever, but you're not going to show up for it. So then you're going to have a warrant out. We're not going to pick you up on your warrant. So then you're just going to have a forever warrant out there. And yes, the warrant does have a deterrence, and like you're not going to get a job with a warrant. You can't have a driver's license.
Right, but
with
those
a
people
warrant,
we're
but-
picking up aren't concerned about
yeah,
that.
they don't give
anyway.
a shit about that kind of stuff. But so it's just it's just a cycle, and then they don't give shit. So they're just gonna keep doing it over and over again, and we just
Not
keep
to
doing the
mention-
same people over and over again.
The amount of liability that comes with our job nowadays.
Okay, can we talk about the difference, the way we used to respond to shoplifters, and then today?
Well,
I don't want to say the difference.
I don't necessarily think anything has changed other than the what we may call the vicarious liability, I guess. So we're not going to put the general public
That's what I'm trying to get
or
at.
anybody else at risk to respond
For property offenses.
in an emergency manner to something like that.
Like a pack of T-shirts.
Yes, we
from
will
a
find
store.
you. We will
Yeah, we'll
find
get you. Eventually, it's not that we're not going to get
And
solve the
everybody
crime or
always
whatever.
gets caught.
Yeah,
we will find you.
But it's the responding to it in an emergency manner is what I meant. The
Right.
difference in response, not the overall response, but the how we get there physically, the driving
Yes.
to the call. Because at the end of the day, when you circling back like Jen Psaki does to no one likes to move over.
But per the law,
Well, we looked
here
it
in our
up.
state,
Yeah, that does not
It does not
fall under
It's not emergency response.
emergency response. But
Like we're
Yeah.
gonna get there. We're gonna try and get there. We're gonna do our best. But at what point in time do you draw that line of putting everyone else at risk and danger to get there for somebody that's stealing a TV because they want to go sell it or keep it or do whatever they want to? The risk versus the reward, I guess. And maybe that's a horrible thing to say, but that's
yeah, but like you said, we're going to
that's the
find you
unfortunate
eventually.
nature of
There's
the
surveillance.
beast. 100%.
You're going to show up. You're
can't-
going to do it again.
You
You're going to.
can't go anywhere nowadays and not be on camera.
Well,
You can't.
and that's the thing that I always tell people
You
when I
can't
have in
do
the
it.
back of my car. I'm like, you do know
Yes.
there's surveillance in there.
And everybody has a cell phone.
Everyone.
You know how much stuff you can find on their cell phone alone, not to mention social media and tower pings and or whatever the case may be. It's
We will find
we
you.
will find you.
We will find you. But
it's I don't know. It's just crazy. It's a crazy time. It's kind of out of control.
again,
really.
circling back. Now I'm just going to keep saying this. Circling back.
Look at what you
I
guys
think
did.
that with the, I think maturity, but experience and just, I guess, years on the job, you start to learn like nuances and just different ways to respond, more gooder ways. I always like saying that.
more better.
More gooder ways of responding, more tactical. I hate sounding douchey like that, but more tactical ways of responding, more
Sometimes we just like to call in the chopper to come in and circle the area and see what see what we can get, you know,
I wish. Okay. We won't go down there. I won't get on that road.
No.
I've already had a glass of wine, so I don't want
Hashtag blessed.
Yeah, love it.
I
But
don't-
I just I think that there's a lot to our job that is changing, and it keeps changing, obviously. But I feel
It
like
is changing.
with
And look, honestly, some things need to change. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
You kind of have to stay current with your times, whether it's the law in general or it's the department or company that you work for, no matter if you're in HR or you're in IT or retail, it doesn't matter. You have to change with the times. Right? I mean, you just have to.
I don't like change.
I don't think many people do. I mean, honestly, there's not a lot of people that like, especially drastic change, right? I mean, that's human nature.
Can we talk about this new computer system without naming it? Can we
Oh, it's
talk
horrible.
about this?
No.
I know
but
we can't talk
but
about
it's
it,
horrible.
but
It's horrible.
that just made me think of change. Is that you go from, I went from 6 years using our old computer report system. I feel like I got pretty.
Well, there
pretty
was
savvy
also
with
an
it.
issue as far as, hey, we'll promise you this.
Oh,
And
yeah,
with
there's a
this,
lot
you
of
can
false.
do this.
I'm not
and
blaming
none
our
of that-
people.
No, not
Yeah,
at
I'm not
all.
blaming our
And
people.
look, things happen, right? I mean, I don't know.
They
Again,
were
we're
good salesmen.
but we're also not directly involved.
No.
So, who are we to say? You know what I mean? We don't know. We haven't been there on the front line since day one or anything like that.
No.
So who knows?
But it sucks.
But it's horrible.
It's terrible. I'm pretty quick with reports. And I think that's one of my favorite things about
You're
art.
more gooder at them.
I'm gooder at them. I'm pretty good at it. Pretty gooder at them.
Pretty gooder.
Pretty gooder. But I that's one thing that I do love about our shift. So I'm going to brag about our shift for a minute. I love our shift because I like the way that we all work together. I like the way that we have teamwork.
For the most part.
We work pretty well. I think
There are
that
one or two that,
do not be talking shit.
or three
Or-
that
or-
don't.
Everyone except Marcus and I.
You know what? Though?
Just
You know what I've
kidding.
discovered?
We're just so perfect.
It's not easy being
Us.
perfect
Us.
all day, every day. Obviously, we kid. And look, nobody's perfect. It is
Seriously,
what it is. But
we work well together with our shift, and I feel like
100%.
that divide and conquer. I mean, I feel like a lot of departments don't have this ability. Larger departments when they're
Right.
super busy, whatever, and we do get busy
and your
sometimes.
call that you're on has been pending for a day and a half.
Obviously
yeah,
we are
absolutely.
hashtag privileged. We're privileged
Right.
in that sense, and we do get busy. There are times that we don't have that capability to divide everything amongst people, but when we do, we obviously are able to be very efficient at what we do. And
Yes.
I obviously always like to take the report, not because I like being a report bitch or whatever, but I like typing narratives. I know it sounds really stupid, but I like typing narratives. I like piecing it all together. I like putting it into like a consolidated little cute narrative that we send off to the bosses and to DB, and they're like, no questions asked. We got the information.
What's DB?
Detective Bureau. Hashtag the dream. It's never gonna happen.
Well,
But that's fine.
could be worse.
But I do. I like the way that our shift works together. I think that
There's a good flow there.
it's
Yeah,
it's
for,
nice.
for the most part. Again, there's a good flow. But
quick click.
yeah, I don't know. 2021. Well, 2020 was a very trying year.
It was a bitch.
And 21's improved, but there's it's still not great.
It's just been weird. It's just been really weird.
Yeah.
It's just been. I feel like
But
you're
the big
kind of
thing
walking on eggshells.
yes and no. You know what I mean? Because as long as you're doing what you know you should be doing.
Well, yeah, I'm not doing anything wrong.
No, but you should be okay.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I
But-
said, I'm not doing anything wrong, but it's just scary.
And look, I tell you, if you just learn, not that we don't do this, but overall, in general, if you just learn to be human with people,
Oh, it gets you so
it gets
far.
you so much further.
So far.
We can have a conversation. I don't care if you broke the law, if you lied, I don't care. We're all human beings. We're all going through something different in our life. And our big thing, especially you and I, that we talk about is we're never dealing with people on a good day.
Ever.
Everything we do is negative.
No one calls to say happy birthday.
Everything is negative.
No one.
Whether it's a traffic stop or a domestic or a crash, we're doing it several times a day. So for us, it's,
You
for
don't
lack
get,
of a better term, another notch on the belt or something like that. You know what I mean? It's another,
Well, we don't look
call.
at it like it's. a
but we're not
bad
also
thing.
affected necessarily. In some calls we are, but
Not
for the most
normal.
part, we're not affected
We're not normal.
the way we're not normal, but we're not affected the way those people are. Right. So you get in a crash, that could be the worst day of your life because you just worked your ass off to save $2,500 to buy that car, and some knucklehead just ran a red light and T-boned you.
And here we're just like, okay, driver's license, insurance, write
And
this
you
statement out
don't
for
have
me,
another
and-
$2,500 to replace that car.
Right.
That is the worst day of your life.
Yeah.
Or you were screwing around, texting or trying to set something up on your phone and you ran a red light. Well, we're behind you and you're getting a ticket for it. And that, I don't know the exact fine schedule, but that $50, $75 ticket, maybe you only have $38 to get you through 2 weeks to when you get paid.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I feel like some of the issues,
Feel as though we don't say like on the show.
my goodness,
Feel as though
we're going to have a light counter on the,
we're gonna have a drinking game for it.
it'll be like the when you drop the weights at Planet Fitness and the buzzer goes off. That's what we need.
What's it called? The bro.
I don't know. The sissy can't handle the loud noises or something. I don't know. But anyways, that's. I hope people don't get to a point where they're so strict on us that it takes away our discretion, and that's a fear of mine.
Because I think our discretion is, I know we have a lot of it,
Yeah.
but I think people on the outside look at it as a bad thing because they take the
Right.
bad apples and they look at the discretion that they used and they
Right.
judge the rest of us with the bad discretion that they had. When you think about how flawless the rest of every other officer on every other given day is with their discretion and how the service that they provide to
Right.
their citizens, how
That's what we are, though. I mean, we are
service
we are
providers,
100%.
But I just was trying to like make it a joke.
She put
but-
it in air quotes.
air
over
quotes.
here
I
for
was
you
giving
that
a
don't-
little air quotes with my fingers over here. But they, they judge us by just the few, which I hate. But they want to take that discretion away because they think that our discretion is obviously leading to other things and maybe
They're thinking
making
that,
us
that we're using it for the wrong purpose,
reasons.
to hem up the wrong people. And look, while that may happen, I'm not here to say that it does or doesn't. I'm sure it does somewhere out there.
But
it
here's the
happens.
point: is that but they think that they want to take our discretion away and it's going to make things better. It's not going to make it better, because what they don't understand is that we have discretion. That there are times, not all the time. We have a duty to act and a duty to
100%.
Do certain things depending on whatever the situation is. We have a duty to do our job, in certain circumstances. But we also have discretion in certain areas that if you take that discretion away from us,
Everybody's getting a ticket.
you're getting
There's no
screwed.
more warnings.
Yeah,
there's no more.
You're
hey,
screwed. Yeah.
Absolutely. Everybody's going to jail and everybody's getting a ticket.
Yep, you're screwed. And here's the thing is that I think they feel as though if they take that discretion away, it's going to take away all the bad discretion that's been used. That bad discretion, just because you take the discretion away doesn't mean people aren't going to do stupid shit. Meaning cops aren't going to make bad decisions on the job. It's not going to prevent it. You're not going to prevent people from making dumb mistakes. Just like in any profession, anyone's going to make a mistake in a job.
Right.
I'm not saying you and I feel as though we're very
Perfect.
well, that we're perfect, but honorable. Like I want to go out and I want to serve. As lame as this might sound,
You have to
I want to
take pride.
serve. Yeah, I take pride in
When
it.
you get dressed every day and you get in that car,
In my 5 minutes that I
you
rush.
have to take a sense of pride in it. You have to. You know what I mean? And if you don't, then I'm sorry, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. And I'm not talking about the sense of pride that you're going to go out there and you're going to hem everybody up and you're going to write tickets to people.
No.
You have to take a genuine sense of pride in the badge and the oath that you took, and just
But man, writing tickets was so fun at the beginning.
Human relation, right? That's a big thing. When you start to get away from that, you're gonna have a problem. Everybody is human, and I don't care if you stole, I don't care if you I don't know, wrecked your car, if you ran a red light, I don't care if you've had a domestic issue. I don't say that I don't care, but you also have to keep in mind that everyone is human.
You say you don't care because you're not judging them. I'm not. I don't care because I'm not.
It's not that I don't
judging
care
you.
about the issue, or I don't care
I'm
about the
not
victim, or I
judging
don't
you.
care about what took place. But yes, I don't care. It doesn't. It doesn't always make you a bad person.
I always tell
You
people
know what I mean?
IRS, just because you did something
I'll
stupid
talk
doesn't
to
make you a bad person.
That's the best thing, is when you get somebody in your back seat, and sometimes when you're not even talking about what occurred and why you're there.
Right.
You're just having genuine conversation. You'd be surprised at the crazy shit that you learn.
The terminology.
Not only about the person, but about like street lingo.
That's
and all
what I'm
that
saying.
stuff.
Like,
oh my gosh!
I was woken up to a whole new
Now you're
lingo.
woke.
I am
But yeah,
woke.
It changes.
Now I use fuck like a comma.
Well, it happens. But that's another thing. There are times people relate to you when you talk a certain way. And if you come up and you yes sir and no sir everybody, I think there's a time and a place for that. But there's also a time where you drop a few F-bombs in there and just relate to somebody.
Yes.
You know what I
You have to
mean?
read the
It's
room.
not being fake. It's not being superficial, but it's relating to that person and being able to have a genuine, unfiltered conversation. And I don't care if you drop a couple cuss words, and I also don't care if you yes sir, no sir me. I don't ever respect that when I go on a call.
I don't like it when I get yes sir, no sir.
There's
I
a
don't
couple
like that.
things I don't like though. Don't bro me
Don't
and don't dude me. Like, we're not friends. You know what I mean? Have a little bit of respect as far as.
So, what do you think about my opinion when there are certain times, and if we do happen to get a female cop that listens to us and is listening to this, I would love your opinion on this. So, email me at knockandtalkpod@gmail.com. There are times when I'll have someone maybe that was a little bit more irate in the back of my car, a male, who will. We shouldn't even be saying genders, but it's fine. We'll go with a male. Identifies as a male. And and will call me baby or honey, or I've been called a lot of names, but I won't correct them. I feel like at the beginning of my career, I'd be like something along the lines of don't, I'm officer
Right.
or whatever, something
I
stupid.
think that depends on the situation.
And it would
If it's-
escalate it.
If it's getting you headway somewhere,
I was gonna
though,
say, usually it gets me somewhere that I'm not gonna flirt back with them, but
call
I'm
me
gonna just
whatever
like,
you want.
just say whatever you want to say. Like, let's just
Yes.
keep the conversation going. Like, whatever. Like, it doesn't bother me. But I've talked to other female officers, and I knock on them. Like, it's obviously their preference,
Right,
whatever
it's
they
personal
prefer.
preference.
But they'll be like, absolutely not. Like, I correct them. I don't allow them to say that to me. It's just like, I don't know. I'd rather you call me baby and just. Not prefer, but I'd rather you
Right.
call me baby than screaming at me and not being. Please don't, but but screaming at me, and I'm not able to get anywhere with you in conversation.
Right.
Rather than you professing your entire life to me, and you called me baby
100%.
a few times, like
Yes.
whatever. But my favorite was when the one lady called me a hussy the other week. I was like, I've never been called a hussy before.
Well,
so that
she was
kinda
going
cool.
through some stuff, but
She was a window licker. She was a window licker.
like she
Literally licking windows.
Listen, if you've never been
Don't lick windows.
back seat of a police car,
Don't lick the windows.
you have no idea how disgusting it is. And this lady licked every inch of the prisoner compartment of the cruise. If you only knew some of the things that occurred
Things.
in the back seat of a police car, and she licked it. She licked everywhere. That was an old car, so there's been a lot of things
A lot of nastiness.
in and out of it. That's not good.
It was gross. It
Her
was really
tongue
gross.
may be.
It might fall off.
It might not be attached at this
It
point.
might fall off.
Yeah, there's probably some gangrene issues going on there.
It was gross, but it was funny. But she called me a hussy. I kind of was like, I'm gonna mark that one down.
That's different.
Yeah, I haven't been called a
that's
hussy
definitely
before.
different.
I've been called a lot of names, but
Next
not a
time
hussy.
somebody cuts you off in traffic, that's your go-to.
You're a hussy.
Use your signal, hussy.
Hussy. Hussy.
Hussy.
I kind of like it. You know,
a good
it's
route.
not as derogatory.
It's different.
It's not as
It's definitely
derogatory.
different.
My other favorite word, but I won't say it right now because I don't know who's
No,
listening.
we're not
If-
gonna
if
go
my
that
mom's
route.
listening, I'm not gonna say it
No,
right
yeah,
now.
we
But
don't need
it's a
to,
good word. It's a good one.
We don't
I'm
need to
sure
go that
your
route.
imagination can come up with it.
I know what it is.
I know.
You might have called me that a couple times. I don't know. It's very
I mean,
possible.
it's just a very direct word. It gets to the point.
It is.
I do have a really bad mouth. I have a potty mouth.
You do have a potty mouth, which is okay. You just have to know when to turn it on and when to
I
turn
can
it
usually turn it off pretty good, but I just really I can turn it off. I can turn it off.
off. I don't think you
just-
turn it off. You just turn it down.
I slip up a lot.
So
I
therefore,
slip up
you
a
don't
lot.
turn it off.
So it's really bad when like kids are around and I'm like, oh god, oh shit, oh, I can't say
Fuck,
that.
what'd
Oh
I just
fuck, God damn, I can't say. Oh, I can't say that either. Or how about when when Kevin was getting married, and my dress, my headphones keep screwing up. I have to keep fixing them. When my dress was catching on my high heels, because I love to wear high heels, people. Okay, just because I wear a uniform during the week, I mean,
I don't mind them from time to time. It just depends.
when you wear high heels,
Yeah.
I let you borrow them sometimes. We're the same size.
Foot's a little wider though.
He stretches them out for me
I
when I
stretch
need
them
them
out.
a little bit wider. But when my dress kept catching on my stiletto on my heel, I know you don't really care about this, but I think it's funny.
No, I'm kind of lost.
And I was in the church. Well, you weren't there, but because you were with my parents or whatever. And I had to go down. Well, I didn't have to. I had to go down the aisle or something this is after they were already hitched. We already got them to the aisle. And I'm walking down the aisle and we're Catholic. Okay. So you're not supposed to swear when you're at the Catholic church. And my heel caught on my dress and it went, and I was like, God damn it. And Kevin
You didn't just cuss.
Kevin,
You said the ultimate.
I know, in church. And Kevin Kevin looked at me and gave me this evil look and was like, Allison, you can't say that in church. And I was like, oh my God, fuck, shit, God.
Oh my
Like, every other word's coming out going, I can't help it sometimes. I forget. So I'm sorry, God. I'm sorry.
all right.
I'm going to do the sign of the cross.
Just kinda
Pray for me. Everyone pray
forgiveness.
for me. But yeah.
It happens.
I have a bad
It does
mouth.
happen.
I'm sorry. But it gets me far sometimes in the job.
It does. It definitely helps, and it's a very good way to show intent.
Listen, I am a firm believer. If you tell someone to get on the ground, get on the ground. Or if you tell someone get the fuck on the ground, there's a
difference.
big difference between that. And they usually
definitely a
listen
difference.
to the latter.
Usually.
I listen, especially when it's coming out of my 5'2" mouth. Although when I wear my boots, I'm like 5'4", 5'5".
Well, that's not bad.
Gives me a little extra.
That's a nice little step up.
And I look a little thicker with my vest on.
With your
so
vest
it makes me
on.
look a little beefier. Like a little.
Intimidation is key.
Yeah. Are you checking the time?
I'm just curious. Where do you think we're? Oh, you just looked. You
I have
cheated.
I have my computer. We're
just
at an
cheated.
hour and 5.
Man, time flies.
guys
I know we
made
keep
it-
saying it, but my goodness,
This is really fun. I like this.
time is cooking.
It is cooking. I heard that the first 10 episodes that you do in a podcast or something like that, they consider it the honeymoon phase of a podcast.
And
So
then
you
after,
think it's
like
fun, and then
11
they-
and 12, we're gonna
and
be
then
like, I hate this. Just talk.
This sucks so much.
I don't even know what to read.
But I don't know. I feel this is what we do every day. So, well, I shouldn't say every day. We're only going to record on our weekends.
For the most part, yeah.
Because we don't have any time during the week to ever record because you work too much.
So busy.
But yeah, let's record on our weekends. Why
Just
not?
dedicated.
You got to make that money so I can spend it. And we can buy cool podcasting shit so our room can keep looking
Apparently,
awesome.
I have a sugar baby. I didn't know that, but
I've always wanted a sugar daddy. And I didn't find it.
okay. Well,
I'm just kidding. Why don't you're not my sugar daddy? We're on the same pay scale. We make the same amount of money.
well.
Except when you work extra jobs. So you make a little extra money.
Speaking of extra jobs,
What?
in Louisville, Kentucky.
Are we starting a new topic?
No, we're just going to touch on this real quick. But Thursday, August 5th, a deputy from Jefferson
Oh shit, I forgot
County
about
Sheriff's
this.
Office. He was a 26-year-old deputy. He was working an extra job, which an extra job is a job that you're working not on the clock for the agency that you work. It's
Side gig.
in our city, it could be anything from a wedding to where you're just working a security detail to a traffic gig. Or yes, it's your side gig.
Your side hustle.
2:30 in the morning, he was ambushed while sitting in his personal vehicle in uniform. But ambushed, shot, and killed. He was able to get some radio traffic out and able to get some help started his way. He was actually transported from the scene and later pronounced dead at the hospital. The suspect is still at large.
My throat's making weird
They don't
noises, I'm
have
sorry.
any, at this point in time, from what, again, the Officer Down Memorial page was able to include. No information on the suspect. He's still at large.
What a coward.
26 years old.
That's terrible.
With 2 years on
That's so
with the sheriff's
terrible.
office. So
You know, it's like
ambushes are real.
you
It's
think that you're going on an extra job, like it's just fun money, like side
doing
gig,
it to
whatever.
provide a couple extra bucks in your pocket.
And you don't, you can't even let your guard down. You
Look,
can't ever let your guard down.
And the unfortunate reality of it is, especially nowadays,
Quit clicking that
It
pen. I'm
doesn't-
taking it away.
but it doesn't even matter if you're law enforcement.
No.
It could be a normal human on the way
Yeah.
to get bread and milk from the store. It's just, I don't know. Crazy time, crazy world.
It is.
I don't know. I don't know what to say or what to think about it, but
Always got to watch your six.
huge proponent of the Second Amendment,
You are. So am I.
as well should everybody.
Even though Marcus carries more guns than I do.
Well,
Because
got to be prepared. I always have two.
outfits female outfits do not always allow for
There's ways.
holsters.
There's ways.
Okay, whatever. We'll talk about that some other time. I disagree. Sometimes it doesn't work. Okay.
All right, well, let's get out of here. Let's
Okay.
have a little bit of a
Hey, I
weekend
gotta
left.
cook. I gotta cook dinner. Do you know what we're having tonight?
There's chicken in the fridge, some type of chicken.
Grilled chicken, because we healthy around here. Okay, and some panzanella salad with my homemade bread from last night.
What is panzanella salad?
It is grilled vegetables mixed with fresh vegetables. So it's grilled bell pepper and grilled red onion.
Write it down, people. It's delicious.
So good.
It's so
and then
good.
you cut it up with fresh cucumber and fresh tomato. And then you take whatever bread. I'm using my own homemade bread.
Homemade bread.
Make homemade bread, people. It is amazing. Ken Forkish, I got his book for homemade bread making. Is so freaking easy. Everyone is like, I don't have time to make homemade bread. It's so freaking easy. Just make your own homemade bread. I never used to eat any bread. It tastes so good. It doesn't make you a fat ass. It makes you feel better.
Delicious.
Just eat it. But anyway, so you roast the bread, make it basically like croutons. Toss it with the grilled veggies, the fresh veggies, the bread, and a little dressing on top, which is kind of like a vinaigrette I kind of make with mustard.
A vinaigrette.
A vinaigrette. It sounds so
We're
fancy.
so fancy.
They're fancy as fuck. Oh, they didn't put basil on it. I forgot the basil.
Basil.
They have put fresh basil on it. But that's how you finish it off. It's
Boom.
good. Done.
All right,
Boom.
I'm hungry. Let's go
Easy.
eat.
Let's go eat. Okay, close
All
it
right.
out.
I hope your mouth is watering over there. Write down that recipe for panzanella because it is so good. Look, even the
So-
dogs are getting antsy. You can hear them. They're like, guys, wrap it up. We're hungry. We want to eat too.
Well, thanks again for all 2 of you, maybe. Did we work our way up to 2 people?
Right. What
Two
if we're
people?
at like 3 or 4 right now?
Oh. All right.
Those are
well,
baller
as
numbers.
usual, Instagram, Knock and Talk Podcast. That's our handle. Go ahead and look for us on there. We'll have pictures of our badass setup in here that we look like
Baller.
professionals, and we're not. We're not.
We're close.
We're close, but
We're
we're not. But we'll put pictures of that. We're going to put pictures of all the fur babies on there because you're going to hear all of them in the background every once in a while. The breathing, the slobbering, the cat fights or whatever. So we'll put the fur babies on there. So look for us, Knock and Talk Podcast on Instagram, and reach out to us on our Gmail account. So it's knockandtalkpod@gmail.com. Questions, comments, concerns. If you don't like us, go ahead, send us a hate email. I don't really care.
But if you
So-
do, what should you do? If you do like us,
Oh, you need to subscribe
like
and give us
and
5
subscribe.
freaking stars, people,
Leave us
because
a review.
we need it. Not 4.5, 5 stars.
5. It's gotta be
Got
the
it?
full 5.
It's gotta be 5.
Or we will find you.
Go all the way. Yeah, we will find
will
you.
find you.
We have our ways. All right. Well,
All right,
thanks
guys, we're out.
everyone.
See ya.
Bye.